A lot of people, I would say, now these were adults. I got inside your head and I'd screw with your head and they'd get pissed at me. They really would. And I said, hey, I'm the DM. This is what a DM does, you know. I'm impartial. I could care less whether you live or die. I had a girl where she played a paladin. And everybody had to write a history about their characters. So she decided that her sister had left home and she was out looking for her sister, and this was the whole quest and everything. And I threw them into a dungeon of their worst fears, and she walked into this room and all the family emblems and everything are turned upside down, you know. So who comes walking out from behind this altar but her sister, and her sister's a black paladin. Well, she wouldn't fight her sister, but she was too afraid to pray to the gods. So with this, the angel of death came and said, okay, you're not going to kill your sister, and you're not going to, you know, take faith in your gods. I'm taking you to hell. So instead of taking her, he took her soul. Took her to hell, and every demon in hell had its way with her. So now she comes back, and I said, you're filth, you're dirt. No one wants to look at you. And every once in a while I brought out the figure of the angel of death, and she freaked. At the end of the game, she turned around and she said, I can't do this anymore, Bob. She says, you got inside my head too deep. So I said, oh, yeah, but she said, it was too much for her. And other people I did worse to, worse.
Most people, when they're playing an evil character, will really get into it and sort of revel in all the bad things that the character will do. And sometimes it's a question of where to draw the line. I mean, it's, you know, going around in character, stealing people's stuff is not really that big a deal. But when you start getting into, like, you know, murder and pillaging and, you know, all sorts of destruction, that can get uncomfortable for some people, which is why evil characters can be difficult to deal with. But if you have a good set of players who are really into role-playing and know, you know, they know where not to step over the line, and they know that what they're doing is just a game and that they're not going to take it personally, it can be very liberating to have a character who will do anything at all to accomplish his goals, and he'll murder people, he'll, you know, summon great evil gods and, you know, destroy entire villages and so forth.
Your personality's left outside the game. You play a character personality, okay? If you're playing a thief and somebody gets something you want, you can talk to him and try to get it from him, or walk up behind him and slit his throat. I don't care, okay? But the kid whose throat he slits can't come back with another character and have revenge on him. It's a different character. It's a different person. You know, it's just a game.
I think if there is any fault in D&D, it is that it has no ethos, espouses no ethic. Everything that I have written has dealt with mythological concepts of good and evil, and I like to think touches on the same sorts of mythologies that are talked about in Joseph Campbell's work, for example. These are the kind of questions of good and evil and ethics that mythology has taught us down through the ages. So if there's any problem with Dungeons and Dragons per se, I think it's that as a game itself, it tries to espouse no ethic at all, when in fact it is such a great tool for teaching ethics that a great opportunity is lost in that.
Girls are more sheltered, I think, by their parents than boys are in general. My personal experience was such as, like, you know, I was not allowed to be involved with any of that. All the girls I know who play it because their boyfriends, their husbands, somebody, you know, they were attached to plays it. They've never discovered it on their own. And part of that, you know, is also because girls are more self-conscious about, you know, their personality, how they are portrayed to their peers. And Dungeons & Dragons has this has this, you know, it's a picture of itself that only nerds play this game. This is a game for people who socially unacceptable, for people who have, you know, no lives, geeks, chess club people, you know, things like that. And so girls are very hesitant to get involved with that because they think about, what are people going to think of me if I play this game? We don't think about something like that being fun until we get attached to somebody, we make friends with somebody who's very into this, and then, you know, we think, oh, well, I could try this too. I think I could have fun with this. And all the girls I know who play it have just as much fun as the guys, and even more so, you know, they get just as much into it.
Try to catch up over. Okay. I'm following you. Okay.
There are some people who get way too into it. They'll go out with, you know, stage combat weapons that are not protected at all, and people get hurt. And I think that's becoming less and less a phenomenon. But the people I know will go out and they have, you know, these boffers, like pool noodles, you know, or sticks with lots of foam rubber, like the kind they use in therapy sessions, you know.
I was doing tabletop role-playing, and a friend of mine went ahead and convinced me to come down to an event actually at this camp to see it and see how I would like it. I was a little apprehensive at first, but I gave it a shot. Fell in love with it after the first month.
I wouldn't go.
The next month, I went ahead and convinced her to come down, and that was it. We were players originally, and then we became the staff and even the owners at one point of an event. And we decided that with all the caring and concern that we have for the events, why don't we go ahead and make it broader, to the point where it's not just our storytelling, we're helping you build the characters not just from the tale, but from the guise of what you wear for the character.
Could you show me an example of a boffer weapon?
Well, a person came to me actually with the want and desire to have a weapon that looks like the sword from Vampire Hunter D. So this is actually still in construction, but by the time we're done, we're going to actually have glow-in-the-dark symbols crawling up the entire blade, so that not only during the day will the sword look beautiful, it'll even look more beautiful during night. And as you can see, we do like custom work, all the way from the hilt all the way to the tip of the sword. But this is another example.
Version.
Somebody wants to have a handheld mace. Anything that a person wants, their desire, their vision, we have the ability to make.